Hello and welcome to this special podcast. Today we have with us Mr. Bhargab Dutta. He is the head of data at UltraTech Cement. Hi sir, how are you doing today?
Thank you.
Sir, my first question for you would be at the macro level, how are neural networks changing how heavy industries process massive amounts of operational data in your business?
So in heavy industries like us, so we every microsecond we generate data, right? And now the bigger problem is like how we can make sense of the data. So there are lots of methodology. Neural network is one of them. The true neural network, largely we are trying to understand the process deviation, and from there only we are trying to figure out what kind of business outcome and insights we can derive. That is in short to that question.
Sir, we are moving from dashboards to agentic AI. So, in a complex enterprise ecosystem, what does a true agentic operating model looks like?
Yes, so it's a great question. So, in case of true agentic operating model, first point is that this ecosystem is still evolving. Okay, so every organization is still in the trying and experimental phase. Because every other day you can hear some Claude is doing same thing and likewise, right? Having said that, what we are trying to do, so we have these functional teams like HR, finance, manufacturing, supply chain. So what we are trying to build, taking one functional team, let's say manufacturing, looking at the raw material information from the raw material and bringing that information to my production and manufacturing environment. Then from there we are linking it to my delivery. This entire process steps, all the information, how it follows in an agentic way. So that is where we are working on. If we can bring that connected ecosystem of different functional information through a agentic orchestration, and also putting the human in the loop kind of guardrail, then it will become the true operating model.
Definitely. When it comes to AI and technology, it is not very cheap, right? It's expensive. So it also needs to give some return as well. So how do you strike a perfect balance between, a cutting edge tech expense and an actual business revenue?
Yes, so this is always a boardroom discussion. So here there's lots of struggle, and so there are two things. One is management should have a conviction that okay, if I'm investing something, I will get some benefit. That conviction should be there first of all. Okay, and second part is that there is certain bit of patience in everyone's mind also should be there. It's not that I am bringing today some technology and next day I am getting benefit. So if we are aligned with these two things, and then we get to go get some kind of experimentation, then we can prove with that freedom, we can prove that there is some benefit, So that is the strategy typically I take, and through that typically we try to do within 3 to 6 months period, we try to develop and deploy one pilot and show some benefit from that small scale use, and then based on the benefit we get the buy-in, okay, this can be scaled up. So that is how we try to make the balance between investment strategy and ROI.
Well, I think that is a very important thing to do right now. So while deploying neural networks, as we discussed before, what is one big hurdle in moving, a model from, say, a clean lab to a, messy, organized, unpredictable real world operation?
So main issue is the data quality, but this is a issue everywhere, all industry. So data quality is one part. Second part is even we handle the data quality issue, then becomes your model governance. Okay, we clean the data, we develop the model, we deploy, and then we get a good result. But 3 months down the line, model may sometimes fail or it may deviate. So how we can keep on that governance model very robust, that will be a very important factor in any successful deployment.
Well, we spoke about the expense of AI, and how you should actually deploy it to get the best return. So what is one common reason why AI projects sometimes become, an expense trap rather than, a revenue driver?
Yes, one thing I have seen, it's like a kind is similar to FOMO effect, fear of missing out, right? So people feel okay, everyone is doing, why we should also do, and then without thinking from the right business case, use case, they jump into deploying the solutions. So that is one of the major reason of failure of any AI use case. So we have to define the problem. Along with the definition, we have to identify what business KPI it is going to improve, and then only we should decide whether AI implementation is required or not.
Definitely.
So that is the strategy everyone should adopt.
Definitely, I think it's very important to know what you're going to get back before you spend a lot of money. So how do neural networks and traditional neural networks and new agentic systems complement each other in your data strategy at UltraTech Cement?
Okay, so this is also a very good thing, good question. And in UltraTech, this is what actually we are exactly doing. So we have data from machineries, machine sensor data we are getting. For example, temperature, vibration, pressure, like data. Okay. Now from those data, from traditional ML perspective, we identify the pattern. That what does it mean? Whether this machine is behaving anomalously, or is there any potential of failure in coming days, coming hours? That pattern we identified. That is where we have to use traditional ML. Okay. Now once we provide that information to our team, okay, that this machine is going to fail or there is anomalous behavior, you should look into immediately. Then they go and check and all these things. But then comes after once we do this thing, then people come back to say, okay, you have told me that machine is doing problem, but where should I look into? So that is where AI agentic or LLM based approach come into play. So what is it that from the multiple ML output, it tries to create a knowledge information, like what kind of reasons may affect this kind of issue, and based on that in a connected knowledge information, it provides a recommendation to that particular operator or engineer. Okay, your machine is behaving this way, which is coming from a traditional ML, but to mitigate this behavior, you should do this activity, which comes from a generative AI. So that is how we are clubbing both together and making a very great amalgamation of both the technology in one go.
Well, that's great balance from coming from you. Now, my last question, sir, for you would be: what is the single biggest technology myth that enterprise leaders need to actually drop? If they want to scale their data foundations in the age of today.
One big myth is that what I have observed, like they feel that everything can be solved through AI. Okay, so that is still not doable in realistic term. AI is not a magic wand, so that it will solve all the problem. So for that, you need to understand your data landscape, whether we have data to analyze. That is one thing. Even if data is there, then do we have appetite to invest right technology? Even if we invest that one, then whatever I am getting, then do we have right people to the capable enough who can actually manage, deploy, develop those kind of model and govern also. So from data, technology and people, these three things have to go hand in hand, and with the thought that AI is not a magic wand. Okay, so these are the things that need to be taken care of for this kind of handling this kind of situation.
Well, I think that's a great thing to bust, because that's what people are thinking right now. AI is the solution to everything, especially given that the generative AI is something that everybody is using. Well, that was a great conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.